Hello, everybody. In this first part of the week 7, we will start the discussions on the development of the distributed model. So, from week 2 until week 6, we have discussed the modeling and simulations over the LAM model. In the LAM system properties are uniform, they are well mixed. As such, there is no special change, and since there is no special change, that means there is no special dependent behavior. Okay, once we want to create something that is more representative of the real systems, then we need to use a distributed model. In distributed model, there is a special change of the property, where the model property or the model behavior is distributed in the space dimension. Everything else or the derivations for a distributed model will be similar with the LAM model, except that the balance equations will be set up for an arbitrary small fluid element or infinite small control volumes. So we look at the representations of the cube elements in here, which is a microscopic shell, a cube shell, and then again the same conservations of mass energy and momentum applies again. As what I have shown in the previous slide, the productions in here is net production, and the net productions in here will be generation minus consumption. So let's start with the mass balance. If we assume that the differential cube element in figure 1 has a given density, then the accumulation of mass is simply the time change of mass. Now we need to check the unit in here. This one is kilogram per meter cube, and then in here we have a meter cube. Okay, because this one will be meter multiplied by meter multiplied by meter. So we can cross this one, so we have a kilogram per second. And then for the sake of the simplicity, we just inspect the convective flow of mass in the x direction. Therefore, the inflow of mass can be expressed as the density times the volume flow rate. And in this particular case, because the directions is from this side to this side in the x direction, so we are interested with this particular area which is perpendicular to the direction. Okay, as a result, we multiply this delta y with the delta z in here, right? So if we check the unit for this one will be meter square multiplied by the kilogram per meter cube multiplied by meter per second. Okay, we have again, this will be crossed, so we have a kilogram per second. Okay, the outflow is the same, except what we consider in here is this particular area in here. Okay, because what we inspect is the one on the x directions. The unit will also be the same. And then in this particular scenario, we are not considering a reacting system, so there will be no generations or no consumption of mass. Therefore, the total mass balance will become what is expressed by these equations in here. Okay, and in simplifying further, we can assume that the volume boundaries are time independent, or what we can say is delta x, delta y, delta z is constant. Okay, if this delta x, delta y, delta z is constant, it can be taken out of the derivative term, and then we can divide the left hand side and the right hand side by delta x, delta y, delta z. Okay, so as a result, then we have this simplified equations given in here. Okay, and then changing the left hand side by putting this one is a limit delta x approaching 0 of this term in here, rho Vx x minus rho Vx x plus delta x divided by delta x. Then we can convert it into this term in here. Note that this has a negative sign because it has to be expressed in terms of this minus rho Vx x plus delta x minus rho Vx x divided by delta x. A derivative term will always have the larger term in front of the smaller one. So that's why this negative comes into existence. Okay. So we have shown with one independent variables. Okay, we can also extend this one independent variable in the x into 3 different directions. I think the equations will be the same, but except this time we have 3 terms on the right hand side, and this particularly covers the convections in 3 dimensions. Okay, and in here we are just using divergence of the velocity, the nabla operator. Okay, this particular PDE that we showed in here, okay, this one is what we called as the first order derivative in space and time, which is called convective type PDE or first order hyperbolic PDE. It's called partial differential equations because you have more than one independent variable. You have time and you have x in here. Okay, then we go moving on into the example. Let's consider a mass balance in a pipe. A medium is flowing through a pipe. The pipe has a cylindrical geometry with constant cross-section. Mass enters the finite volume at the point Z and exits at position Z plus delta Z by convection only. The accumulations in here is defined by this term in here. Okay, then we check again the unit 1 over S meter square gram per meter cube meter. So this will have gram per second. Okay, and then the inlet of mass, that will be meter per second multiplied by meter square gram per meter cube. So this again have gram per second. Outflow will be the same, and then we put these terms into this mass balance where we don't have a productions term. We only have an inlet, outlet, and accumulation. Okay, then what we can do in here is we can do all the manipulation that is required, and then we convert it back into the integral term in here. Okay, and if the boundary z and dz are time independent, then the time derivative in the accumulation term can be moved inside the integral. So this one in here, this term in here, can be moved inside the integral in here. Okay, then if we remove the integral on both sides, we will have this in here, which is similar to what we have developed in the previous slides, right? Except this one is in the z direction. So if we go back into these equations in here, or these equations in here, it becomes clear that we are merely deriving the same form of the partial differential equations.